It's time for baritone class. We're going to go post our link for this class over on jollyrogerukulele.com. That's where you should go to get all of our sheet music. My name is Gary. I teach ukulele, guitar, and harmonica, and baritone ukulele. And that's what we're going to do today. Today we have a fun group of songs. We're going to be playing the key of G arpeggio, which is an important concept that we got to get you going on. And then I also am going to teach Las Mananitas, one of my very favorite songs from Old Mexico. And I'm going to be teaching 5'2", my clearly far and away favorite song from the Tin Pan Alley era. So we have some really nice music today to work on. A couple of them are brand new arrangements for baritone, which is kind of fun. And I probably should be downloading those so that we're ready to play when everybody gets in here. Let's go to here, and make sure the link is working properly. Click. And that takes you to the right spot. So we should be getting a handful of people showing up here any minute. Apologize for not shaving today. It was a crazy morning. And I will try to look prettier as we go forward. Baritone players have come to expect that I will be a little bit later than usual and get kind of worn out by this point in the day. And so they'll be here any minute. Songs. I'm going to download Baritone. Go back to the cloud where I've done the key of G before. So we're going to do Las Mananitas and 5'2". I got to download those. Where's the Fs? 5'2". Baritone. PDF. And Lara's theme. We're getting close. Las Mananitas baritone. Okay, so we can download both of those. And then I'm pretty sure I got my arpeggios already down. Should have. All right, let's go double check. It drives me crazy you can't do Windows on this. Storage. Baritone, baritone. J. Las Mananitas. Okay, that one's open. And let's go get 5'2". Where's he at? 5'2". And then what do I call this one? What do I call you guys' arpeggios? It's called G major. Oh, it's called what it is. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, G major. Beautiful. Here we go. Who's all here today? Cindy's here. Howdy, Cindy. Cindy wants to play. She wants to play, what's his face? John Denver on baritone. Oh, my phone has just been uncontrollable. Tone. Let's see who else is here. Michelina made it in. Howdy, Michelina. Linda. Can't wait for 5'2". awesome song. Hey, Ray, welcome in. Terry, good for you. Good to see you, bud. Diane's logging her hours. Playing John Malkovich. Come on. Not better than. You fill up my sand. What does he start with? I don't remember the next chord. All right, that's enough. That's enough, John Denver, for today. All right, so guys, we have an exciting group of songs here today. I was just telling myself in my usual blah 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 before all of you guys get here how lucky we are to be playing these three songs right off the bat on a Monday, and so we're going to get these things knocked out. Back for baritone. Okay, good. All right, so you got your baritones. You've got it in playing position. You know your fretboard numbers. You know this is string number 1 and this is string number 4. You got it in tune to dark, gloomy baritones explode, DGBE. And we have the G Major Arpeggio is the first thing you're going to be looking at today. This lesson that we've got to get straight in our heads on is surprisingly important, and surprisingly few of my students figure this out until way too late. So no matter how many times I try to sell you on the importance of arpeggio, some of you are not convinced. And so I will tell you, I can assure you, having just finished working on an Annie song from John Denver, that knowing your arpeggios and being comfy with playing with your claw is going to pay off. Okay. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. Last week, we worked a lot on chord and taking melody, taking chords and combining them. This piece here takes a look at breaking a chord, not into melody and chords, but to take the chord and break the chord itself into its constituent parts. So what I want you to do first is I want you to grab a G chord. Dun, 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 dun. And then I want thumb, index, and middle. I want you to ignore the fact that you have a 4th string on this for the entire page. I want you to pretend this string isn't here. So if that string's not there, thumb goes down, thumb, index, middle. Now, there will be times in the future when we grab all 4, but on this song, I only want you to grab 3. This allows your most important finger to end up on your G string. What? And then it also allows your middle finger to run your 1st string instead of your ring finger, and that's better. Okay, you got a lot more control over your middle finger than your ring finger. Now, first thing you're doing with this G chord is, could you play this song just with your thumb? You could. But your thumb is slow, and it's not, it's just slow, okay? And that's why we end up playing a lot in this position, because we can go a lot faster and have a lot more reliable accuracy by playing in claw position. So you've got thumb on the 3rd string, index underneath the 2nd string, middle finger underneath the 1st string, okay? And you're going to play 0 0 3 0 0 0 3 0. So what we're doing is doing thumb, index, middle, index, thumb. So just do that for a little while. Get that pattern in your head. Mostly get it in your fingers, right? Notice nothing's going on in my elbow at all. Nothing's happening down there. A little bit of tiny motion in my wrist. It's almost all entirely in my knuckles. Okay, that's an arpeggio pattern. We're taking just a C chord and we're breaking it into its parts. G chord, breaking it into its part. Okay, so that's measure 1. Measure 2, we're going to put a D chord on. Okay, grab your D chord, and we're going to play 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3. So you're already holding down all the notes you need to hold. Thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle. Hey Dan, hey Lanny. Okay, so we're just playing thumb, index, middle, index. Okay. When we get to measure 3, you're going to put your C chord on and do the same pattern. Okay, just doing that a couple of times. Then at measure 4, you're going to do your D chord. Measure 5, you're going to go to your G chord. 6, go back to a D chord. 7, go to your C chord. Go to your D chord. Notice you're not going to play the last index finger. Okay, you got a quarter note at the end, 2, 3, 2. Because we want to create some tension to go to the next chord. Okay, so those first 8 measures, they're all the same. You're going to change your chord, but you're going to be just plucking the same exact pattern over and over. Brief discussion about measure 3, where you're holding a C chord at measure 3 and measure 7, but you're never touching this string here. So why am I doing extra work by putting this on? Well, for 2 reasons. One, I want to get so comfy putting my C chord on that it's just magically there. I don't have to think about it. Yeah, I could save myself a little work by doing this, but that's not really what we're working on quite yet. We just want to make sure that your C chord pops on without you even thinking about it. The other reason is if you don't hold this string down there, it will resonate in this sound. And to make a great C chord, you really need to turn this D chord into an E note. So if you're otherwise, it's going to be a D note, D, G. That's the chord it makes. It doesn't sound good. Okay. Even though you're not going to hit this string, you're still going to hold that down. So it resonates by itself, just sympathetic resonance in the correct chord. Okay, let's play those first 8 measures again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I started on the wrong chord. Let me start again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. C chord. D chord. G chord. D chord. D chord. Okay. That's a pattern. When you look at a piece of music and you see a pattern clearly going on, for baritone, you can see it in both the standard notation over and up, over and up, over and up. Okay, those are very clear patterns, and the tablature makes it even clearer, right? Then you know you're supposed to be playing arpeggios through there. That's what those patterns tell you right off the bat. I'll show you a different place in this song where it doesn't hold true. Okay, when we get to measure 9, you're going to hold a C chord, G chord again, but you're going to play a new pattern. So it says 0, 0, 3. We're going to clunk all those together. And 0, 0, 3, but they're quarter notes, so much slower. You're going to go to your C chord, make the full C chord, and then clunk. Oh, 1, oh. Now go to your D7. Okay, and then grab the full chord. Then 2 and 2, clunk, measure 13, grab your G chord, middle index thumb, E minor, middle index thumb. There's another place where it's all zeros, but I still want you to hold the correct chord so that your instrument resonates properly. Grab your C chord at 15. D7 at 16, 17, grab a G chord, plunk twice, thumb index, E minor, thumb index, C chord, and measure 20. Okay, now at the end of that measure 20, it says there's a backward repeat bar. That's the 2 heavy lines with the dots that says, hey, go back. Okay, and so in this case, you're going to go back all the way to measure 1, where you see a forward repeat bar, and the dots are on the other side, right? So you go there, all the way back to 1. In other words, you're playing that first page twice. Okay, on Friday, we will play that first page twice. Okay, let's go on to page 2. Page 2 says you can grab your G chord. Next thing it says is RIT, R-I-T, and then quarter note equals 100. All that's telling you is, hey, slow it down. Playing at 1 speed, slow down, play this part a little bit slower. The other thing you see shows up here, 0003 with a wiggly next to it on the tablature. Those wigglies are called glissandos, and what we're doing there is, we've done that in Spaghetti Monster, right? Okay, and that's all we're going to be doing there. It's different than that or that or that, and so there, or even this. Okay, all through this whole entire piece, we've been playing it with the claw. Now we're going to be playing it with the thumb. Okay, and now also notice 21 through 28, there's no real discernible pattern there. Everything's sort of a little bit of a mix of this and mix of that. That means we're going to be heavy on melody, less heavy on chords, and you're probably going to switch to your thumb to play this. Okay, so from 21, let's go nice and slow. Give me a C, G chord, hit 353. Then give me a D chord, glissando, and then hit your 3. Measure 23, you have a C chord, rest stroke, 130, and then 24 is a G7, D7, 2, 3, 4. Plain melody here. D chord at measure 26, hit the 0. Couple of C chords here, 3, nice big D7, 2, 3, 4. Tempo means goes back to your original tempo, and then notice you're also going to go back to your claw position, and let's play that. Ready? Go. Middle, index, thumb, plunk, middle, index, thumb, plunk, middle, index, thumb, plunk, middle, index, thumb, plunk, plunk, thumb, index, plunk, plunk, thumb, index, plunk, plunk, thumb, index, plunk, plunk, thumb, index, big glissando on a G chord. Okay. Now, brief commercial announcement. I have all 30 of the keys that are available. That's all 15 majors and all 15 minors. I've written them out for ukulele. You know, I've only converted them to baritone for the first 3, but I will definitely be willing to do the rest of them if one of you says, you know what, I want to do the entire jumping flea arpeggiator. And now you can absolutely just go grab the tablature out of that book, which is free online, right? Just go download it. It's on the front page of the website, Jolly Roger website, right under John Denver, a couple of down. It says, here's the jumping flea arpeggio. You should download it and put it in your book anyway. But here's what I did when I wrote that. Here's what I thought on that. I want you to be able to play every chord in every position on the fretboard. I want you to play it in all the keys. I want you to know your majors, your minors. I want you to have full grasp of music theory. Here's what I will tell you straight up. Every single student that I've had who's gone through that entire book has mastered the ukulele. There's been no exceptions. Okay. I've had lots and lots of people who fell in love with ukulele, played really seriously for a few years, and then they kind of wander off into the ether. And what happens is that in order to stick with your instrument, you want to eventually have complete command of it. And that means knowing everything about your left hand and everything about your right hand. That's not a sit down and study it over like you're preparing for your driver's license, right? That is we got to play, we got to play, we got to play, we got to try this, we got to do this weird thing, we got to do this other thing. And it's kind of what I do for you guys is throw this stuff at you all the time. You're like, God dang it, now what does he want? And the idea is to get you all of your tools and all of their possible variations and really give you some opportunity to practice those. And so what I know from the ukulele side of things is that book I wrote it for myself because I wanted to learn how to play the ukulele. I set up that rule as I'm going to make these as beautiful and as melodic as I can, but I'm going to use every single key and I'm going to use as many variations of those chords up and down the fretboard as I can. And to be perfectly honest, there's a little tiny bit of an ego trip here, but I hit a home run on that book. That book is nice, and it's still the only one of its kind. It's the only one that's free. It's the only one at that level. It's the only one that I have found. Now, there's plenty of other people writing books for arpeggio, but they're not quite that good. Okay, and I usually don't have a ton of ego, but on that one I do. And here's the other thing: their books cost you money. Mine's free. It's right there. Just go get it. I'm happy to start working on putting that into baritone, but it does take me a lot of work to convert it, and so it will be slow coming. But here's more importantly, you have the first three out of that book: G major, C major, and D major. You have those three, which are the three important ones for you guys. And the big challenge is master your left hand and master your right hand. And when you can do that, you will have mastered this instrument, and then you will no longer be thinking about it as, oh, I wonder if I can do that. It's now, what can I do with this? And so I do think, even if you just go grab the ukulele one and just play the tablature, ignore the names of the chords and ignore the standard notation, you'll be doing yourself a huge favor, because ultimately we want to get complete control over everything we're doing with the instrument. In that book, it's free and it'll let you do that. So there you go. Let's see. Cindy says yes. Michelina says yes, yes. Vic says yes. Right. Get on that, Gary. I will. I've been messing with it for a while. The interesting fact is the baritone does present some different issues that are different, not better or worse, just different than ukulele. And so there's many times when I have gotten used to the ukulele having this high string here, and you guys have a low string here, and it creates a differentness to it, which is not necessarily, it's not, it's just different. And so when I've been converting this to baritone, sometimes it's better and sometimes it's not. All right, so what I'm hoping is that every day when you sit down to practice, you warm up with two things. You warm up with your Make a Better Bar worksheet, and then you play an arpeggio. That's the two things I think you could do yourself a huge favor for. Until it's so repetitive, you don't even think about it. Just sit down, play your G major arpeggio, play your Make It Better bar chord, and then move on to your music. We tend not to do that. As newer players, we're very inefficient with practice. We practice things we don't need to practice. We practice songs that are fun. We practice the song that we really like, but we don't necessarily always spend enough time working on our toolbox. This is a toolbox, okay? Getting your arpeggios in order. Like I said just earlier, we were working in next level ukulele in Tough Uke, and they had a full arpeggiated song for Annie's song in John Denver, and you take that piece of sheet music and put it on baritone, and you'll be like, wow, that sounds amazing. Let me give you a little taste of what that would look like. Um, um, whoops. So you see what I'm doing, right? I'm just putting the chords on. I'm just playing the tough uke over here. But over here, there's no way to pull this off unless I am really, really just doing this. Okay? There's no way I'm going to have the speed with my thumb to be everywhere where I need to be. And so that's where that arpeggio study begins. And it begins on the key of G. So there we go. Want you to, I can't emphasize enough how important. I put Frere Jacques, and then I pick Spaghetti Monster, and then I pick Key of G Arpeggio as the top three sort of bulwark against what we want you to be able to do as instrumental players. And there, you can pick different songs, but at the end of the day, those three get you where we need to get you. Let's see. Tara says, "I agree with you. Arpeggio book is terrific. We would love to have a baritone version." Yeah, just grab the ukulele one and read the tablature and play that, and you will get the same exact skill set. It will be in a different key, and I don't know. There's moments where it's kind of like it's not exactly what it was supposed to be, but it'll work. And I will be working on switching all that over into official baritone. The biggest challenge with using the ukulele one is you look at that, and for you it's a C chord, and the ukulele one it's an F chord, and after a while your brain melts, and so I don't want that to happen to you. Okay, that's what I know about that. Let's now talk about uh, next level stuff. Okay, so most of you guys know we're teaching two classes at once here, book one and book two. If you are book one, your job is to play key of G arpeggio the rest of the day. Don't worry about this other stuff, right? Get good at something. And next up this week, we're going to switch you from the key of C key of G, and we're going to go into your key of D. Okay, so this was the rest of the week we'll be talking about key of D. The other fun thing is it just happens that we're working on Las Mananitas as a song from Mexico. You also get La Cucaracha this week, so we're going to have a lovely week of Mexican tunes in addition to an old spiritual, Happy Birthday, an arpeggio one, and something from Tin Pan Alley. So we got a really nice selection of songs this week. You'll see, you guys have been, those of you who are newer, we were only at this 3 weeks, and already we've got this legit music that we're playing. So very exciting. So if you're book one, work on your arpeggios. That's really where you should be. If you're book two, let's talk about Las Mañanitas first. So let's pull that up. Las Mañanitas. All right, Las Mañanitas is I've heard they sing it at people's birthdays. It's really about waking up in the morning, and I gave you my English translation over on the second page. Oh, these are the mañanitas David sang to all the girls, pretty girls. He sang unto them, and now we sing them to you. Wake up, darling, will you wake up? The moon, she went off to hide. All the birds are singing sweetly, and pretty dawn has arrived. So that's the song, more or less. It's in Spanish. I don't have any Spanish background, so I'm not going to sing those. But that's the song we're after. And so let's see how it comes out on baritone. Okay. First off, make sure you know your chords. G chord, D7, back to G, back to G, over to C, over to G, back to C, back to D7, back to G. Okay, and that's really all the chords. So nothing else shows up. It's just those chords, basic stuff, right? Beautiful stuff. Okay, let's play the melody. Just a melody. 1, 2. So too many mistakes, but that's basic. You got the basic melody there. Pretty little tune. Nothing too out of control on it. It really, really does sound nice. Okay. Now let's go back to verse 1 and measure 1. Walk our way through the tough uke, and then we'll play it a couple times. Okay. So hit the 2 zeros, and then you got a nice G chord, just a rest stroke. Okay. 0 2 0. D7. Play 3 strings. Hit the 201. 003. 013. C chord. 00. Partial G chord. 102. Nice C chord there. 2. D chord. Open. D7. Open. Those 2 zeros there, those sound cool. Those low Ds. Dun dun. Wham. 021. 0201. 0013. 00. G chord. 102. C chord. 201. G chord. Open. D7. Those zeros. And the song changes at 17. 2201. G chord. G chord. D7. Nice C chord. G chord. 0201. Okay, then you go back and repeat the whole song. Second time through, don't play 24 and 25. See the bracket above them? First ending and second ending. Okay, let's play the whole song. Let's play it twice through. It's pretty. Okay, 1, 2. Measure 9. To the top. Next level players, grab your claw. Otherwise, go with your thumb. 3. Okay, very nice. All right, probably 0003 is fine. Um, isn't that a nice song? It's really pretty. No, you probably it's a good chance you don't know that song, right? But it's just got that really just very pretty. And a couple of resources, right? When you don't know a song, Gary hands out songs from the olden times that you don't know all of the time. That's one of the things I do, and not because well, because frankly, I like them, and I don't know, if you don't like them, you don't like them, but I do. So when you get to these old songs and you're not necessarily sure how they go to the website, go over to that widget on the right side. It's called All the Songs MP3s, something like MP3s for all the songs, or something like that. I don't even remember what I call it. Let's go find out. It's called MP3 recordings for every song. And so go down and go click on there. Las Mananitas for baritone. I like to listen to it a few times. First time through, I listened to it for just getting the song in my noggin. Second time, I'll sit and stare at the sheet music while it's playing and really try to understand what's going on there. Third time I go through, I really try to get a sense of the words. Now, in this case, you got Spanish words, so you may or may not want to study those, but you could at least take the English words and see how they fit in there. And then that way when I play, I got a choice. I can either count music or I can sing the song in my head. And it's much more accurate and much more fun to sing the song if it's got lyrics than count 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. And so I'm always singing the words as I'm playing a song until I get to a long note, and then I start counting those long notes because I don't want to come in early. And so those are some what I hope are helpful thoughts in terms of tackling a song you may or may not know. And otherwise, I just think it's a pretty little tune. I really like it. I hope you like it. All right. Other song we got this week is 5'2", and so let's go grab that guy. This is no question in my mind the best song for ukulele from the Tin Pan Alley era. It just you could tell it was written on a ukulele. It's just that set up for it. Now a lot of you guys have been to your local strum-alongs, and it's typical to do this song in at ukulele in C chord, right? Well, I always play 5'2" in the key of F. Well, guess what? You guys are lucky. Not only do you get the F shapes from the ukulele, but you are in C. So when you go to the ukulele strum along and they say, "Hey, we're going to do 5'2" again," you just play these chords and you're all set. So let's double check you know your chords. Okay, C chord, 5'2", E7. Just move this up one, lose this. Eyes of blue. You got to go to your A7. Oh, what those 5 feet could do has. And now you need to do the high D7. You know how you have D7 down here? This one you got to do up on 5 with your ring finger out there. Anybody. And then you're going to come back to a regular G. Seen. And then you at measure 6.5, you have this weird chord here. You're holding down the 1st fret here and the 5th fret there. My. You want to you really want to do that because it does that weird sound. My, and then back to the C chord. Gal, bum, bum, bum. And then when we get to the end of measure 8, you're going to repeat measures 1 through 7. Okay, come down to measure 9. Now, if you, E7 chord, run into a 5'2" wall, A7, covered in fur, D7, high D7, diamond rings and all those things. Well, you can bet your life it isn't her. Oh my. And then you go back to the main idea. Could she woo? Could she coo? Could she, would she? Could she coo? Has. And then D7. Anybody seen? Has anybody seen? Has anybody seen? Open chord, my, and then C chord to finish up. Gal, da dum, da 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 dum. And watch how fun this is. 1 string up, dum, dum. That'll be E chord, C chord. Okay, that's how you wrap it up. Okay, so those are your chords. Pretty doable chords. The hardest one, of course, is that D, high D7. And by the way, the longer us baritone players stick together, the more of those are going to come up. I make my guitar players do them all the time, but they have to use a pinky there because it's just too far away. So they got this, and a pinky there. And for some of you, that might make sense. If you have kind of small hands, using a pinky instead of your ring. The problem with ring is it has a tendency to pull your middle finger forward, and then I have this happen all the time where it pulls my middle finger forward, and now I'm in the wrong fret. Okay, melody. Let's play some melody. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm sorry. It's in 4. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hit 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. Back to the top. The second ending, go. So by the way, 3, 5, 7, you really do want to use index, ring, pinky, because when we get to tough acts, you're going to need that. Okay, 7, 7, 7, 8, 7, 7, 7, 8, 7, 7, 5, 5, 7, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 5, 5, 5, 7, 5, 5, 5, 6, 7, 10, 7, and then you show on melody 3, 1, 0, 3, 4, 0, 3, 0, 0, 4, 0, 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 3, repeat, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 3, one more time, 5, 5, 5, 5, 3, 0, 0, 2, 3, 4, 1, 0, 0. Okay, so the melody falls apart at the end there because it's all a whammy show from the chords at the end there. Okay, all right. Let's walk through the tough uke. We'll just do it one time through. We don't need to do it a million times through. Well, yeah, there's only one short repeat. Let's do the whole thing. Okay, so go 3, 2, 1. F chord. Add your pinky. Take it off. E7. Add your pinky. Take it off. A7. Add your pinky. Take it off. Add it on. Take it off. Put it back on. Let it ride. Pinky. High D7. 2, 5 5s and the 7. 2, 3, 4. Slide down to your G chord. 1s and 5s. And then C chord. 2, 3, 4, 1 to the top. Go. Okay, now this is a tough chord shape. I gave you the chord shape down above the tough uke there. It's a B7 on 5 is what it is. So you know how you got B7 way down here, which is we normally play with index, middle, and ring, right? Now we're going to play it with middle, ring, and pinky. And then we're going to slide this up and put this index finger on the 5th fret of the 2nd string, and then everything else is the same. Okay, E7. Okay, so that's E7, slide your pinky up to get the 8, and back, hit it twice more, pinky, back. Okay, then you're going to go to this A7, which is an E7 on the 5th fret. Okay, add your 7, take it off, go to page 2, get your high D7, add your pinky on it, 7, take it off, 2 more times, hit the 7, okay, and then 2 5s, and then just a nice little run here, 6, 7, 10, 7, and then just use your ring finger to get to the 8, index finger to get to the 6, hit the open, 3, 4, okay, go grab your C chord, pinky, no pinky, E7, pinky, no pinky, A7, pinky, D high D7 at 22, G chord, go back up, all zeros of 27, C chord, 2, 3, 4, rest. Okay, so that's what you're after there. Okay, on Friday we will play that as we just played it. We're running out of time. I want to play through it real quick for you so you have a sense of how I do this. What I'm about to play is almost note for note what's on your piece of paper. I've had this memorized since, 15 years ago. I play it at least weekly for all those years, and I still mess up once in a while. But the idea is I wanted a nice song from Tin Pan Alley that was probably written on a ukulele. I wanted to master that song, and so this is one of them that I've had. And so here's how I play this. Your audience erupts in thunderous applause. And then all I'm doing, those places where it says wham, 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 right? That's what your sheet music says, wham, wham, wham. All I'm doing is putting a little bit more aggressive strum on it. Adding in a little bit of this, a little bit of razzle dazzle when I can. But other than that, this is basically no for no what I'm doing. And so obviously you don't need to be playing. I've had a 18-year head start on you in order to play that, but I do think as a Tin Pan Alley piece that a lot of people, most musicians know this song, and not a lot of real people know it anymore. But it is probably a song that was written on ukulele. It was written right dead square in the middle of that Tin Pan Alley uprising in 1914. Its history is a little murky as to who exactly wrote it and where it and how it came to be, but it is a really fun song to play, and even at a slow pace, dun 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 dum dum dum. And the other thing I like about it, the lyrics basically the distracted or confused narrator. There's a number of brilliant songs with that person. This is one of them. He is just positive his girl is the sweetest little thing. She doesn't need diamonds. She doesn't need nothing, and she's just pretty as a pin. And she's missing, and he's convincing himself she doesn't need diamond rings and all those things. Well, she probably might have a different opinion on that. And so there's that. Some of you know Hey There Delilah by the Plain White Tees. That's another song of a just completely demented narrator that doesn't understand at all the situation. And Clementine is another one where the narrator is quite clearly confused about what's good and right in the world. So I kind of like songs like that. It makes it fun. All right, that's what I know about baritone ukulele. You guys can go off and find your groove. Uh, Level book one people, key of G arpeggio. The rest of you guys, you got three amazing pieces of music today, and hopefully those will come together for you. I'm going to pull the plug, and that's what I know. Okay. You guys have a wonderful day. It looks like maybe the chat room died. Good to see all of you. Oh, no, it didn't. There you are. Thanks, Terry. Sometimes you get not frustrating, suspiciously quiet. I think you're there playing your baritone is what you're doing. One, go out, do good. Don't go out. Seriously, it's awful out there. Two, be safe. Americans, we got a mess, right? Stay away from each other. Three, let's subscribe and like, keep practicing, and keep showing up here. We have a lot more baritone music to create and a lot more beautiful things to work on. I will mention very briefly that we are going to be switching from Christmas, from as soon as we finish this 6-week period, we will switch to Christmas music. You guys will end up getting yours a little bit later than everybody else because I want to finish that. But on level book 2 will probably switch from doing your book 2 stuff just to switch to Christmas music. So you'll be getting a little bit of that earlier, and then we'll be doing the easier Christmas stuff afterwards. So we'll be ramping you guys up in a little bit different way than the other people, just because I want to finish the 6-week series. But you will be getting some Christmas music, and then you'll be getting a lot. The first week in November, I'm going to take off, but I will leave you plenty of music to work on that week. And then I'm giving you fair warning. This class may have to be moved to an earlier time slot. I'm thinking about taking a class, and so I'm probably gonna. So I need to have my afternoons a little cleaner, and so I may be moving this time slot for this to an earlier time slot, but I haven't figured that out yet. So just wanted to give you a heads up that may be happening. So for some of you that is great, and for some of you you're like, well, that'll be out. But I gotta figure out how to get my schedule together. So you guys have a wonderful day. I'll be giving you more news as I figure it out. And guys, Cindy, Ray, Lanny, Miguelina, Terry, who else is showing up here today? Vic, I know that Carol was in. Oh gosh, everybody is in. All you guys, all y'all. Thanks for being here. We'll keep it going. Class in what? Computer programming. Honestly, that's I have a need. I'm constantly having to fuss with stuff in this thing, and so I'm thinking about taking this class in programming. I used to do a lot of programming, and it's gotten away from me, and so thinking about revisiting that, but I don't know yet. It's all online. That's why I'm thinking about doing it. So anyway, I'll keep you guys posted as to what we're doing, and I will see some of you for guitar, and then I'll see the rest of you guys tomorrow. So have a great day.